talk about swarm traps, because I know some of you are in the deep south and you're probably already seeing swarms. And up here in the north, this is the first day of spring. And guess what Illinois does? Bang! Slaps us upside the head with temperatures below freezing. Hello, spring. Yeah, really. It's like, hey, spring's coming. Okay, first day of spring. The high was 44. I went biking today and about froze my hands off. It was cold and windy again. We've had so much wind. Oh my gosh. Now I'm not talking about typical Illinois wind where it's 15, 20 miles an hour. We've had 35, 40 mile an hour winds, not gusts, steady winds. And I've showed you in my last video, steady winds of over 30 miles an hour. It's crazy. It's terrible. Anyway, no matter where you live, you are going to face warmer days. That's another life teaching, right? No matter how things aren't working out right now, they probably will get better if you just wait it through. So anyway, we're going to talk about swarm trapping because this is a neat way to get some bees. Now, let's jump right into it because I got a lot to say and I don't want to take up too much time of questions a little bit later. By the way, we have some giveaways coming up. I hope you're excited about that too. So the anatomy of a swarm is this. When you have a hive that is strong, maybe they made it through the winter, or maybe you started with a new package. Maybe usually you don't see swarms in a new package or a nuke, but it can happen if they get overpopulated quickly. So the anatomy is that, first of all, I want to set some parameters. A lot of people think the queen is the one sitting in a chair, royal chair inside the hive, calling all the shots. Nah, she really doesn't. She doesn't call any shots. No, the older bees do. All she does is lay eggs and spread queen mandibular pheromones. She isn't telling people what to do, not at all. So she doesn't make any decisions about swarming. In fact, she doesn't like the idea of it. I say that, what do I know? But they really have to prompt her to swarm. They have to reduce her food intake. They have to actually come up beside her and buzz and push her to get her out of the hive when they do want to swarm. So, she's not the instigator of the swarming. Now, a swarm is when half or a little over half of the colony actually leaves the hive in the spring on a good day. They all leave and they leave with the old queen. That might surprise some of you. You think they'd want to swarm with a fresh queen. The reason they do it is because the queen that's old has proven herself. She is a laying queen. Why swarm with a virgin queen that has to get mated and may get eaten by a bird, and you don't have any eggs to raise new ones? So it's just nature works out really well that way. So the old queen leaves with a little over half of the colony, a healthy colony. It's reproductive. If bees didn't swarm, there would be no bees. They have to raise a baby by swarming and making a new colony. Now, also, there can be times when colonies will swarm because they're overcrowded. And if I can say this very quickly, the queen mandibular pheromone gets absorbed by all the other bees in the colony. It kind of leaves her, goes through the retinue, gets spread around. They pick it up off of her body. And it kind of goes all through the hive and actually returns back to her. And if it returns back to her at a weaker state, then it can create a panic that, there's so many of us in here that we need to swarm because we're overcrowded. So they can swarm when they're overcrowded. A lot of people confuse the two or don't separate these two. In other words, some people think I'll just throw a honey super on. They're crowded. I'll throw a honey super on. Well, they're wanting to do a reproductive swarm. And you know how this goes. You can't stop the reproductive instinct. It's strong in the animal kingdom. Let's just say that. And so bees want to reproduce, and this is how they do it. So give them all the room they want. And if they want to make a new colony, they will. Oh, and I want to talk about the bivouac. I like saying that word because it's a fun word to say. I think it's a French word, bivouac. The word has origins in kind of a Swiss German origin. And the word actually, in the true sense of the word, it means like a temporary shelter or a tent, something like that. Actually, the origin means night watch, I believe. But in the 18th century, it kind of got changed in military terms to mean a temporary place where the military would hold out as they make their way to maybe a final place they're headed to, a bivouac. And so a bivouac, think of it this way, a bivouac is when a hive swarms. I've already told you why they do it, how they do it. This swarm will land initially, remember the word initially, they'll land really close to the hive. Yeah, 20 feet, 25 feet away. They might land high up on a tree, low on a bush, on a fender of a car, on the gas tank of a motorcycle, on the wing of an airplane, hanging out at an airport. I've collected swarms from everywhere. And you have too, probably. Or you've seen pictures of it, right? This is a bivouac, temporary. They're not in their home yet. It's a temporary place because all the scout bees have been looking for a nice home to land in. And they have an idea where to take the swarm to. And so they're resting in the bivouac before they go there, okay? And so they're gonna stay there an hour, 2 hours, maybe a day, who knows? But you'll see the poor little scouts. I say poor because they are working themselves to death on the outside of that swarm. This is a picture here, but if it was a video, you could see the scouts doing the waggle dance. They waggle like crazy, everyone. And they're all waggling in different directions. And if you read Tom Seeley's book, The Democracy of the Honeybees, which I strongly recommend you get that book, it will talk about this. But once they have this democracy of agreeing, all the scout bees could kind of be competing. Like, no, I want you to go here. My place is better. No. Let's go over here. I found a great tree. And eventually about 80% of them all agree on where to go. And when they do, all the waggle dances are facing the same direction and they take off and they go to that scout bee's location. They leave the bivouac to go once about 80% of them agree we found a home. So a lot of you might not understand that when you're trapping swarms, I guess you can trap them two ways, okay? I don't hear this talked about a lot. You can swarm trap and catch the bivouac, or you can swarm trap and catch the swarm after the bivouac. Which one do I think is better? Definitely the latter. If you catch the bivouac, remember, you're catching a temporary group of bees that are fighting for a location they're trying to go to that's different from where they're at right now. So there's a higher risk if you trap bees in the bivouac state that they will leave your place. Okay, that's a good way to say it. Has that ever been said? I don't know if that's ever been taught or not, but so have you ever caught a swarm and they landed on a bush and you put them in a hive and then they left again and you wonder, what the heck? Why'd they leave again for? All the scout bees are competing for what they've already looked at a couple of days ago. They already got a house picked out, people. And it's a chance that they might fall in love with what you gave them. They're pretty committed instinctively to stay committed to what they've been working on. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is after they leave the bivouac, before they even swarm, these scout bees have been looking for a home. And that's the swarm trap we want to talk about. Tom Seeley, in that great book called Democracy of the Honeybee, he did a lifetime of research. And you should really read that book. And I'll just kind of summarize it real quickly here. But this place that you're building to catch this swarm should, according to his very diligent research, this is science. This is not anybody anecdotal making claims or anything. Scientific research by a PhD in the field testing this for years. He said he found in his research that they are looking for a cavity, approximately, I think 40 liters, that's about 10 gallons, about that size. And that would be about 2 5-gallon jugs duct taped together, I guess, or maybe about 2 5-frame nuke boxes on top of each other, nailed together. I'll show you some pictures here in a minute. And he found out that the entrance should not be a big, wide entrance, but maybe 2 to 3 square inches. What they're looking for to be their home. This is what scout bees go in. The scout bees go in before the swarm happens. They're looking for this place. They'll go in and measure it. They have little tape measures. No, but they do have a way to measure it. And he actually filmed bees measuring and choosing which one they like better. Isn't that amazing? Wow, I love this. And he found that typically they like their new home to be about 15 feet off the ground. They like for it to be dark, of course, and they like it to be dry, and they like it to be safe. That's pretty much how I like my house. Not so much dark, but dry and safe, right? Yeah, we all like that. I like it dark at night. And I don't like sleeping with anything that produces light. I'm kind of like a bee at night. I have gotten black electrical tape and taped up little lights that flash on smoke detectors and, oh, my little charging lights. Just anything like that bugs me, right? When I stay at hotels, oh my gosh, I've got alarm clocks, I've got microwaves flashing the time. I go around and have to put towels over all of these things. I like it dark. So I'm kind of like a bee. So that's what they're looking for in their new home. Now, this is not a paid promotion. Nobody is giving me money to put these up here. I just wanted to grab some pictures, and I don't use pictures without permission unless I'm getting them off the public websites of places like this. And what is this? Foxhound Bee Company. And anyway, this is a kind of a common thing that you see that's easy to hang from a tree. And it's kind of made out of this really hard cardboard stuff. And I've used these before with no success. And I've put either lemongrass or Swarm Commander. And I know there's other types. Some people like to use Nasinoff as an odor, and bees do spray out of their Nasinoff gland back on the back of the abdomen. They do spray a lot of Nasinoff into the air to attract the swarm to land somewhere. So that's not a bad idea. But Swarm Commander by far works really good. But you can see we're getting into some of the ideas that people have. Oh, by the way, before we get too far, I have one on the floor here. This is usually where I knock over my microphone connector or something. Let me grab it. I'm working here. Hang on. Okay. So this is not a hat. This is not a witch's hat. But instead, this is like look at that. It's got a little entrance to it. And this is something that you can hang from a tree. You can buy these pretty cheap too. And it might attract a swarm as well. I've never used these, but I had that sitting around. And I thought I'd show it to you, similar to what we see here. Also, this website, I should show the website, but it's called Beeline Woodenware, maybe beelinewoodenware.com, something like that. Now, this is a more commonly sized box that a lot of people build or they buy them. How much is that? $59.80. There you go. It's not even $60, 20 cents short of $60. That's a deal breaker right there. Hey, if it was $60, I wouldn't get it. Now that it's $59.80, I'm going to buy it. I'm saving 20 cents. Okay. Psychic. So anyway, there you have it. This is probably close to the 10 gallons. And the idea, by the way, I don't want to forget this, is that you do kind of want to hang a few frames, drawn out frames from the top of that. And there'll be a gap at the bottom. It's okay. I know you're thinking if I hang a deep frame in there or a medium-sized frame, they're going to build comb on the bottom. Well, you're going to be on top of it. You're not going to let that happen, but you might attract them to get laying it pretty good. That's kind of what is the normal thing that people are saying today is put a few frames. A lot of people also say it's might not be a bad idea. I mean, if you jam it packed full of frames, I'm personally concerned that the scout bee may not like it because they like a cavity. And so some people think that you put just frames with no foundation, maybe a starter strip. And that way the scout bees can measure a cavity and they want to build their own comb. They're all full of honey and they're ready to make wax. So they want to build comb, and that's what they're looking for. Another example, back to Foxhound Bee Company. You can see here, I wanted to show this one because, and again, this is not a paid advertisement. I'm not trying to get you to buy these. In fact, you can most people make their own. Okay. But if you're not really good with a table saw, or you're worried you're going to cut yourself, don't do it. But you see the little stick, the little piece of wood sticking up here. The way this works is that if you're making these or buying them, you actually drive a nail, a big lag screw or something into the tree or a fence post, something high up, and you just run that hole on that piece of wood through the nail so it hangs from a tree. Also, if you're really good with rope and pulleys, and I've done this before, you can actually put something on your box and on the tree, and you can, throw a rope over a branch above it. And then when you catch a swarm, you lower the rope down, tie it off, but lower the rope down. As a ham radio operator, we make a lot of our own antennas with long wires and all that. And we throw stuff into trees, shoot stuff into trees, and put wires up in trees. We make a lot of pulley stuff like that too. But anyway, that's kind of what you're looking at. Again, you're looking at, I guess the best way to describe it is really a nuke box, which is about 9 inches wide. But in this case, if you want to get really close to what 10 gallons would be, you make it about 16 inches from the top to the bottom. Make it a little bit longer, deeper, as you can get that 10 gallons that the bees are looking for with a small entrance in the opening. But a lot of these traps, if you don't want to make them, they're easy to make, my gosh. But if you don't want to make them, you can actually buy one. Also, don't forget the swarm commander or some type of lure of smell. That will definitely be a deal breaker. Be sure to get that in there to spray some on the comb or on the inside of the box or something as well. Okay, so I want to summarize this real quick. We're talking about types of swarm traps and all. Like I said, 2 nuke boxes that are stapled, nailed, screwed together is a great way to do it. That would be my primary way of doing it. Here's why. I don't want an odd shaped box. I used to have a lot of odd shaped equipment. I used to make queens out of these little mini mating nukes. I got rid of that idea real quick. I got all my standard mating nukes to be 5-frame nukes. So I like 5-frame mating nukes. I like 5-frame starter nukes. I like 5-frame resource nukes. I like 5-frame for nukes. I like 5-frame boxes. And I'm going to use 5-frame boxes for my swarm traps. I'm going to put 2 of them together. Okay, that's perfect. That's going to be great. They're available. Hey, when I'm done catching swarms at the end of middle of June, I got 2 nuke boxes to put somewhere else. There you go. So that's what I like doing. Don't go crazy. Buy a bunch of stuff and you're going to commit to it hanging from a tree. You don't need those after swarm season's over, and they're going to sit hanging from a tree and just rot out there if you don't put them inside. Then if you put them inside, you're going to have to store them, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, start with some frames in there, maybe put some starter strips of a foundation, an inch of foundation, and staple it into the top of the middle of the frame or something. Fasten it from a tree. Remember, small entrance is going to be a good idea. How to check it. A lot of people ask me that. How do I know if there's a swarm that's gone in there? Well, wait till a nice sunny day. And if you already have some hives, make sure your bees are flying out of your hive. Then all bees everywhere are flying, right? You just got to check it, just like anything. You got to go and look up there. You might need, if you get it real high, you need binoculars, but you need to see if bees are going in and out. A lot of bees, okay? And you'll know. There's no doubt about it. You'll know when no bees are going in and out and bees are going in and out. You can check it and you can say, wow, I caught a swarm. And since you caught it in the post-bivouac state, well, you've got some frames in there. And now if you did it the way I'm going to do it, you're going to have 2 nukes that you can take down, and then you can separate them, and you got them on the frames that are easily to be placed in the deeps, so on and so forth. So you don't have to, like if you just throw that thing I showed you, that black thing or the brown thing that doesn't have any frames in it. If you catch a swarm and you're kind of late to the game, you're going to have a bunch of weird comb in there. Then you just going to have to lose it. It won't fit in anything. So that's not a good idea either. All right. I'm so glad to have shared this teaching with you guys tonight on swarm trap. I really do encourage you, try to trap some swarms, Now you have to be careful. I do know that some of you may live in Africanized territory. That is a uh-oh moment for you. It may be illegal for you to trap swarms if you live in places where the Africanized honeybee swarms a lot, because I don't think that's allowed. I don't recommend it. You do not want to catch an Africanized hive. That would be something you would not be proud of. So beware of that. Fortunately, here in Illinois, that doesn't happen. We don't have to worry about that. But if you live in the Southwest or something and it's a big deal, gosh, find out in your area first before you do that. Okay. Otherwise, you don't want to take those bees home. That's for sure. Wow. All right. Well, good deal. Yeah, let's go into a time of questions. It's about, I always like to have a good half hour of questions. So it's about 7:30. And we got Larry from Central Washington. By the way, thank you guys for being here tonight. Appreciate you so much. I love and appreciate all of you guys for joining the live stream. Got a big crowd tonight. So thanks for giving us your time. I know it's valuable. So Larry says day temperatures around 50, forecast 3 days of 70 next week, then back to 50s. Is it okay to inspect on those days or wait till consistent high temps? Larry, a lot of people go ahead and do it. I used to go ahead and do it, and I'd get busy working on bees now when it's, it's just the first day of spring. And it came back to really bite me too many times. I accidentally killed queens. I accidentally saw issues I couldn't solve because I knew it was going to get cold again. It was frustrating. And I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to wait till better weather, warmer days. Bees are okay. They're purring along and they've made it this far. I don't want to mess them up now, but that's a personal call. I just don't like to do it. Okay. If I can't buy a queen and get it shipped to me safely, I'm not going to work my bees. That's weird, isn't it? But that's my plan, and I'm sticking to it, and it's paid off good for me. Absolutely. Hi, Sherry. Can you explain the 5-frame nuke box and tell me how you use the box for resources? How do you keep them managed? Do you feed them? Oh, a 5-frame nuke box is I've made them. I made a video on how to make them out of plywood. I love them. They're just 5 deep frames and a box to put them in. And it has a floor on it, either screen.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Here, I said the name Sherry, and now she's going crazy. Thought I said her name. So, yeah, you can make those or buy them, and they're good for many resource hives. Like I talked about, a resource hive to me, and I've made videos about this, where it's a resource where you are supporting a larger colony. So an example, I recommend any new beekeeper or a beekeeper with 5 or less colonies have a 5-frame nuke box to support each of those colonies. And you can just pull a frame out once they get going good and let it be the starter of that 5-frame nuke box. So the resources are building up in that 5-frame box that you have. And you have a queen in there in case you need her. They're going to raise a queen, from her eggs that you give them. And so it's just there in case you need a frame of brood, if you need a frame of honey, if you need a frame of pollen to support your bigger hive while it gets going or goes through a troubled time. You got a queen on hand, all that stuff. So that's what a resource hive is. Do I feed them? No, not really, because I start them in the spring when there's a lot of stuff out there. It's a good question. I like resource hives. Hey, Alex, what chances do I take by grafting queens on April the 7th? I desperately want to get the new splits going to catch the June soybean flow located a little north of Indianapolis, Tipton. Okay, that's good that you gave me a direction. What chances do I take by grafting queens April 7th? Okay, I'll tell you, Alex, depends on the weather, right? In the past, April the 7th is about a month too early for me to do that. And I kind of live about where you live. You're further north than I am a little bit. I'm concerned about that. I really am. So a way to remember, Alex, and I teach this a lot. You guys remember this. It's best to graft and raise queens as soon as your hives naturally start raising queens and swarming. In the swarm season, they raise a lot of queens. You try to get a jump on it. There's a lot of things that have to happen. Number one, you got to have drone congregation areas with a lot of mature drones in there. That may not be the case. Number two, good weather. Queens aren't going to fly to mate unless it's 68, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. You got to have a lot of scenarios to work for you. That's going to be a challenge. I'm going to try to remember to answer Ryan's question that he asked me last time, a few days ago. I forgot to answer your question, Ryan. Hang on. Randall, I'm 2 hours north of you in Illinois. Really? You're like Chicago then, or almost the border. If you were me, would you put your traps out? Both hives survived winter, one horizontal lay-ins and a laying. Well, good for you. Oh, yeah. Why not get traps out now? Absolutely. If you got the time to do it, not going to hurt a thing. Hey, Ryan, thanks so much for the donation tonight. And Ryan, I wanted to answer your question you sent me about Nicock Queen method, where you use a device to capture eggs to then basically it's queen rearing method, so you don't have to do any grafting versus grafting. And the difference is according to your preference. If you're just not ever going to be good at grafting with a Chinese grafting tool, little tiny larvae out of cells and moving them over to queen cups, if you're never going to be good at that, if you try it and you're terrible and you tried it for a month and you're still terrible, you might want to use that method. I started using that NICOT method and I had trouble making it happen under my time schedule. I am more in control of queen rearing by grafting. I can get the right eggs that I want. I can get the right grafts and all that. It's just easier. But I would encourage you, Ryan, try both. And I've heard some people say they like one, some like the other. Yeah. I'm glad I answered that. I almost forgot that you sent me that message. Okay, inspected the hive today. No brood. Did not find a queen. Bees were working. Can I save this hive? Thanks. Really enjoy your live stream. Well, I'm glad you liked the live stream. Thank you so much. I don't know where you live. Yes, you can save the hive if you can get a queen in there. Can you get a mated queen on your hands? Make sure that she's not going to die in the shipping lanes. Like tonight, if I had a queen coming, she would probably either freeze to death or be injured or not lay well, having been that cold. Yeah. So be careful. If you can get a queen, that's the key. Thanks, Angie, for your super sticker. Appreciate that. You guys are great to donate tonight. Hey, Justin. I'm wondering, when feeding pollen substitute on a warm spring day, do you have a preference on how far away to put it from the hive? Thanks for all you do. Here's the thing, Justin. In the fall, it's more critical how far away you put it because you could induce robbing. But in the spring, when there's a nectar flow out there naturally, it's not so critical. But yeah, the further, the better. Keep them far away from your hive. Hey, thank you, Justin, for your donation. Appreciate it. Your donations always help the live stream. If you believe in the mission, you got to support it. So I appreciate you guys supporting the mission here. It does take a little bit of money to make things run. And we like to give things away and have special speakers. And we always pay our special guests too. Hey, Ross, I have 2 hives. Thank you for your donation. I made it through winter in Wisconsin. Good for you. One is huge, one is small. I need to wait to warmer weather to equalize, correct? Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe so. I'd hate for you to lose your queens now and not have a way to replace them. Then they're both going to get small. If you can get by with it, a risky thing. But if you're a really good beekeeper, really know what you're doing, you're not going to make a mistake. On a nice warm day, you could take a frame of brood out of the big hive that has a lot of brood and move a frame over to the little hive, and that would help. But if you're inexperienced and you might cause an issue, I wouldn't recommend doing it until it did warm up. It's all about your skill set. Hey, Carol, check my hive today. 6 frames of brood and 2 frames of bias. I've double brooded. I double brooded due to space. Was that right or wrong? Boy, that's a tough one. Did you add another box? You mean you added another brood box maybe? Because you were worried they were running out of room. I'm not sure where you live, Carol. If you're further south in one of the southern states, that probably was the right thing to do. I'm in Illinois, central Midwest, and I don't like really changing things right now because the weather could surprisingly turn cold. And those winter bees that are set up to survive the winter and the cluster and where their food is and where their brood is, I don't want to mess with that just yet. A little bit too early. Everybody I know has a different philosophy. I just don't want to upset my bees after they made it this far. Good question. Fritz the Cats, now that the winter bees enter through the top, how do you get them to use the bottom entrance? So if you use the winter bee kind or some other feeder at the top, the bees are going in and out through the top. And they have such a built-in GPS, they know that's the way in and out. And all you got to do is when you get ready to remove it, and you're going to maybe put a feeder on the top where they can't go in and out up there anymore, they will learn to go in and out the entrance. Believe me, they will. And they'll learn it the first day at night. Go back there at night. There's nobody out there at night. They went in the bottom. But there for a week or two, they're going to keep trying off and on. They're going to be like, well, I'm sure it was right here. Oh, yeah, it's down below. Just give it time. They'll figure it out. I'm glad that they do that. They're going 3 miles away to get nectar. You want them to know where home is. Okay. Hey, Bundy, found a dead out this week. Had evidence of mice working a winter home. Can I use the frames again after I clean the droppings off the frames, or should I throw the frames out in brood box and super? Oh, that is a good idea. I just made a video of the round hive that died. I know, it's so sad. Had mice in it too. Doggone it. You need to get rid of those frames. I am the first to tell you, bees do not like frames that have the smell of mice on them. They might use it. No, I've tried it over and over again. I've tried to use frames like you're talking about. They just don't like it. I've tried to, the only way I could get it to do it if I scrape it down to the plastic and re-wax it, and it still smells like mice pee, mice urine. That's a horrible smell. You don't like it. Your bees won't like it. If you can afford it, get rid of them and start new, start fresh. Buzzing Bees Apiary. Thanks for the donation. Thanks, Dave, for all the videos. Started early summer last year and went through winter with 3 hives, came out with 2. Well, you're above 50%. Good for you. Congratulations. Might want to graft some queens out of the 2 surviving hive. Don't graft out of the dead hive. You won't get any good bees out of that hive. I'm kidding. Jeff, when bees swarm with old queen, is a new queen in the hive they left or just queen cells? Okay. It can be a little different, but here's what historically or scientifically we say happens, and that is once the queen swarm cells are capped over in the original colony, once they're capped over, that's usually when mama and the bees will leave. And so the virgin queens are right at the point of emerging. So I have seen the original queen still in there as the virgin queens emerge. They seem to get along, but then they do swarm and the virgin queens will fight and one will take over. It's right on the border there. So they like to swarm before the virgins emerge. Yeah, that's a good question. Hey, Mike. Hey, David. New beak. I lost 2 hives. 1 made it. 2 brood and 1 full super. What do I do with the super? The super from the dead out, I froze. Okay, well, leave it on there. I mean, see if the bees will use it and consume it and just go from there. Or if you want to harvest it and start over, you can certainly do that and get some fresh new honey out of the spring in there. I'd probably, once I made it out of winter further where I live, I might harvest that out of there. And I've done that a lot, actually. And then I will go ahead and let them put more new honey in there. Yeah. The tricky part about that is when you do that, you got to remember, if you're going to treat for mites in the spring, which we all should, if you're going to use a long, slow treatment that takes 42 days, let's see, well, a lot of things. Let's say you had European foul brood, and if you treated with oxytetracycline, the antibiotic for European foul brood, you got to wait 6 weeks after the last treatment. There's 3 treatments, 4 or 5 days apart. So you got to wait 6 weeks. Same with a lot of the mite treatments that are 42 days. You have to wait until you can put supers on. I don't want to miss that spring flow. So you always have to think about that when you're collecting your spring honey. Do you need to treat? What are you going to treat with? Hey, James. Hey, from East Tennessee. I have completed Hives to Heroes course. How do I get a master beekeeper? Love your videos. 5-year keeper, self-taught. Oh, good for you, James. I want you to consider becoming an EAS, that stands for Eastern Apicultural Society of North America, master beekeeper. Check out their website, Eastern Apicultural Society of North America. Thanks, Sally, for your $25 donation. I'm glad you like the winter bee kind too. But yeah, I would definitely think about the EAS. I'm an EAS certified master beekeeper. We don't have any courses. We only test you. It's basically you saying you know a lot about bees, and you go through 4 tests, and you have to see if you can complete. We are now taking applications for candidates that want to become a master beekeeper, and that's the way you do it. Yeah, hope that helps you. Oh, I'm glad your colonies made it. Hey, Gary, how would you hang your swarm traps? Well, like I said, if you're what is that called? A rope and knot guy or something like that. If you can you're good with ropes, and you can throw a rope over a branch, hook it on there, lift it up and tie it off, and then you can lower it down easily. They're made also with the sticks on the back, like I showed in the picture. You can put a big nail or lag bolt into a tree and hook it over that hole in that little piece of wood and hang it. Whatever is convenient. The bees aren't going to be upset. They're looking for how to get in, and if they like the place, they don't care how you mounted it. So don't worry about it. Just however it works for you. But listen, all of you, if you're going to swarm trap, please don't break your arm or your neck or your leg trying to catch $100 worth of bees that you could have bought in a package or something. Come on, let's. Speaking from experience, from my younger days, I could have avoided a broken arm, stitches, and all those things, but I was too young and dumb to know better. Now I'm older, I'm a tiny bit smarter, and I'm getting less broken bones now. So be careful. Yeah, however it works for you. Hey, John, we're going to stop after this question and do the spin to win wheel. Hey, John, David, can you clarify when doing a walkaway split, do you have to move the hive away from the original hive? And if so, how far? I get this question asked probably, it's the winner of all questions. It wins probably once or twice a day on some platform. I have to answer this question, and I've made videos about it. I made a video last week about, I don't know. Yeah, you do, John. Your bees are good about knowing where home is. They're programmed. You want that. You want them to go 3 miles away in a weird direction, crossing interstates, highways, under bridges, weaving through forests, getting a field of nectar and bringing it back to where they left. You want that. And so when you move their hive, you would expect them to be confused. They have to be. They know where home is. You moved it, they don't know where it is. So you got to do all the 2 mile away. You can make a walkaway split. I say put something big in front of it, like a lawn chair, for a day or two. And it's tough. I know we all want an easy way to do it, and it's just tough. Ooh, we got to. All right. Oh, you remember the spin to win? And so added some new things on here. And I don't think I have any dances on there, do I? Oh, I hope not. I'm tired of dancing in public. All right, so we have a lot of things that might be interesting to spin and land on today. Let's see what happens. You might be the winner of something today. Let's see how it goes today. By the way, I'm going to be answering more questions in the next few days that are left over from the live stream. Oh, Beak Squad. When it lands on the Beak Squad, it means that we have a giveaway. And today, one of the giveaways, we've got 2 coming up. One of the giveaways today is a coffee mug. Hashtag mug in the comments, guys. Here you go. Look at that. I got a picture of me making some videos out in the bee yard and all. And thank you, Jim and Brenda. Oh, you like the positive information on the live stream? Well, all right. I'm negative very seldom. You can ask Sherry. I have my negative moments, but they're seldom. But anyway, back to the mug. Hashtag mug. Leave it in the comment, and you can win a mug. And you can have coffee time with me. I occasionally have a moment of coffee time on my videos where I talk about life in general and how it relates to beekeeping and all. Yeah. So hashtag mug. You can win a coffee mug. We'll get that sent out to you. And just all you got to do is go to the comments. Now, Eugene, you use a capital M. That may exclude you. So try it again, all lowercase, M-U-G. Is that right, Robbie? You're doing a little lowercase? Yep, Robbie says lowercase. Doesn't help to put it in there a lot. Don't try to, put it in there 15 times. Once is enough. So hashtag mug. Look at that. I remember making some of these videos with my camera and all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'd be fun. We got another giveaway coming up as well, so don't go too far away. We're going to spin the wheel to win after this giveaway too. All righty, get your name in there, all you guys. Hashtag mug. All right, Robbie, let's try to spin it again, or spin for the first time, and see who will win tonight. After you win, you got to be sure and email us so we know your address to send. That's not right. So that we can send out the proper information. Let me get that off my screen here. There you go. That'll help Robbie out. So I had my teaching up there. All right. So hashtag mug giveaway. Who is going to win today? I love watching all the great names going by. I recognize so many of you, and you guys are great. I really appreciate all of you. Every one of you means the world to me. I really am so happy to be here, and I see a lot of you when I speak at different places. So when I see your names here, gosh, it's good to see you. Absolutely. All right, look at that. There goes Danny. There's Mike. The drum roll. Tommy, Doug, Jim. Who's going to win? Be Simple? Okay. I have no idea who that is, but it's a great name. All right. Congratulations, Be Simple. You just won a coffee mug. Hopefully you live close enough in the US where we can ship this to you. And we want you to be sure and look at the banner scrolling at the bottom. You need to email us within 24 hours at, what is it? The email address, beaksquadwinner@gmail.com. And that way we'll get this sent out to you. EL, it's always good to see you again. By the way, I've got a special task for you, EL, and several others, 2 or 3 others of you, that I have a special task for you. Gosh, how do I get in touch with you? EL needs to email Sherry. Okay. All right. Well, I'll take care of that later. Let's spin the wheel again. Last time, let's see where it falls this time. We have one more giveaway no matter where it falls. And if you guys ever have an idea what you want me to put up here, that'd be great. Oh, a 30-minute Zoom meeting. Now, we had this before, and Robert won this a few months back. What this is, I will set up a Zoom meeting personally with you, and we will spend 30 minutes talking about anything. But I suspect you want to talk about bees, but if not, we'll talk about anything. But anyway, so what you need to do is you need to leave a comment now, hashtag Zoom, to win the 30-minute Zoom meeting with me. Okay? Hashtag Zoom. It's a lot of fun. I had a blast with Robert. We sat and talked for a half hour on a Zoom meeting. And you don't have to do anything. It's not really Zoom. It's actually StreamYard, just like we're using here, but it's just me and you privately. It's easy to do. I send you a link. You click on it. You're in. Okay. Hashtag Zoom. That'd be a fun thing for you to win. And we'll work out a schedule that meets with my schedule and yours so that we can set up. So be patient. Whoever wins, be patient to try to, let's coordinate that together. That'd be great. Good time to sit down with me for a half hour and just doesn't cost anything. You just Zoom in and we talk. So that'd be cool. Hashtag Zoom, all lowercase. That's cool. All right. I was hoping that it was going to win on. I had a whole bunch of things on there like bee anatomy. I had a joke. We'll do this again. We're running out of time tonight, but I had a bee joke that was awesome. And I wanted to do bee philosophy. I was hoping it would land there. Oh, there was Trimble Dance on there. My goodness. Well, at least it didn't fall on that tonight. I would have had it trembled again. All right, let's get ready. And so if you want to win a 30-minute Zoom meeting with me where we just sit down and talk together, that'd be great. A lot of bee jokes out there, I know. All right, Robbie, let's do it. Who's going to win the Zoom meeting tonight? 30 minutes Zoom meeting. Might be good for you if you have a lot of spring questions. All right, Robbie, let's let her roll. Thanks, Robbie. Appreciate you doing that. I tried to do that by myself last week. It was hard. Ooh, there went Homer and Sandy and Chris and Amy and Anthony. Paul. Hey, Paul. All right, Paul. There you go. Paul, you got to email beaksquadwinner@gmail.com and work with Sherry and we'll get it scheduled where you and I can sit down and spend a half hour talking. Okay. Yeah, that'd be fun. So congratulations. That's great. All right. Good deal. All right. Let's get into a few more questions. A few more questions tonight. All you guys probably have a lot of spring questions. Any swarm trap questions you want to lay on me? Just hit me with your questions. Hey, Jay. Jay, it's always good to see you. I think I want you and EL to work on that project together. I don't know if I should be saying that or not, but Sherry says, no, don't be saying that. Okay. I got an idea. 2 things I want to do with our live stream. So I've got some cool things I'm planning. Anyway, Jay, David, how far away should a swarm trap be from the beehives? You know what? I didn't mention that. You need to have bees in your area. You know, if you live on a desert and there's no bees around, you're not going to catch a swarm, right? The bivouac goes close to the hive, and then after they find a home, they're going to go away. They usually, I can't remember the exact distance that is in Tom Seeley's book, but I'm going to say anywhere from a mile to maybe up to 2 to 3 miles away is a possibility. They're going to go pretty far away usually, not always, but they are going to go far away. Yeah, they're not going to be on your property. So I like to set it up, you know, where I know bees are in the area, but maybe I'll kind of put it along a fence row somewhere half mile away or something. Hey, David, how far in advance do scouts go out to scout for swarms? I was setting up my new second bee yard yesterday here in Western New York, and how to scout bee come check out a swarm trap. I've wondered the same thing. I see them. Scout bees are always looking. I have been told that scout bees aren't just always looking for a place to live. They're looking for minerals, specific minerals that bees need, nutrition that they need. They're looking for water sources in your gutter. They're looking for brackish water that has minerals like potassium or something in it from a chicken coop. Those scout bees may not be looking for a place to live. So you don't know. But yeah, they're out there. They're out there all the time. I would say days and weeks before a swarm. A swarm is initiated about a month before it happens, is what I've been told. Hey, Larry. Oh, you built a swarm box? Yeah, following Dr. Seeley's book. Have a round opening and now wondering if it might be attractive to birds. Is there a way to keep birds out? It's nesting season. Yeah, you know, that's a tough one. Can you put something like, can't use queen excluder material, then the queen can't get in there. Maybe you can put one strand of wire that might keep birds out of that hole or something, a couple of strands of something, but bees could go through it, but a bird couldn't. I would use some critical thinking skills like that. You know, what would bees go through, but birds couldn't, and make that happen? Yeah. All right, a couple more questions. Couple more questions for tonight live stream. Hey, Brian, Eastern Kansas. When is it safe to remove mouse guards? Mouse guards, it's over. I mean, for the most part, now that it's warming up, mice aren't going to be running in there much. So you're probably okay now. Yep. All right. Last question is from Steve. How long to leave bees in swarm trap before moving into a regular box? Yeah. If you catch them in an empty swarm trap with no frames, get them out of there quick as you can, because they're going to build comb. If you built a swarm trap like I showed that has frames in it, you can move the frames out before they get too big and they want to swarm again because they're crowded. That's the simplest way to do it. So as soon as possible is a good way to do it. Yeah, as soon as possible. Well, I want to take a moment and let you guys know that I'm so excited that all of you are here. Our live stream is really taken off, and it's such a pleasure. I do have a couple of cool things that I want to put together and add to our live stream, which are going to involve several of you that I've noticed are always here. You're always doing stuff. You're always contributing greatly. And I'm going to try to get in contact with several of you to help us out on a couple of projects that we're going to be working on as part of the live stream. So that'd be exciting. And I know a lot of you would really enjoy doing that. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to share my thoughts on philosophy that has to do with bees and humanity a little bit, because I got to thinking about this, how all of us are here because, we're beekeepers. We have a common thread that binds us together. But in life, you think about bees, and bees they rely on flowers for nectar. And, the flower depends on the bees pollinating them, of course. And a single hive will actually influence an entire ecosystem in your area. One single hive does. That impact, it's a ripple effect. And I thought about life and the interconnectedness that we all have with each other. And it's very similar to bees. We exist because we are not good in isolation. We're not. I mean, I know some of us like to be alone, we at times, but we're really better around people. And also, our actions have a ripple effect on our own ecosystem, our own people system around us. We can have a positive impact on other people. We need to let our light shine. We need to really be a beacon, a positive example to our children, to our families, to coworkers. Hey, I know it. I know this winter I had every flu that was out there all at one time. I wasn't a happy camper for a month, but I'm better. I'm getting better. And, there are times we can't let our light shine. We're down. Something's bad happening. Okay. Get it. But there are times that even in hardships and challenges, we can still be a light. And that might really be something that gets us through a hard time. I might be speaking to somebody right now. Maybe you're going through a tough time. What might really help us is that when our life isn't all together, maybe if we can tread water enough to help somebody else get their life together, it might help us in our difficult times. By all means, I think we need to be people that are kind, compassionate, and caring people. Hey, I need you. And I think at times you probably need me. We need each other. We're better together. We're bees. We're not going to be a good bee all by ourselves out there. We need each other. That's what this live stream is all about. 59 minutes, a heartfelt live stream. We all come together, enjoy each other. Hey, I want you guys to know that you mean the world to me. This has been great tonight. Oh my gosh, I can't thank you enough. I love you. I appreciate you. I can't wait to see you at the next conference I speak at or hang out with you someplace. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, and be positive. Stay with it. I got your back. I'm here for you. I'll see you in the next video.